Hello everyone, welcome back. What we are going to learn in this video is what is Terraform state file and how to store Terraform state file remotely in Azure Storage. So let's quickly go over the agenda. We will learn what is Terraform state file and where does Terraform stores the state file locally by default. Why we should not use the local storage, why we have to store Terraform state file remotely, and how to do that by leveraging Azure Blob storage container. And then we will see the prerequisites, and then we will look into the demo part. So during the demo, the way I'm going to authenticate to Azure cloud is using Azure CLI. There are many ways you can authenticate with Azure cloud, but I am going to use Azure CLI. And then we are going to create some basic Terraform file. We will run some Terraform commands just to see how the local Terraform state file is created and where it is actually being stored. And then we will create Azure Storage account and then container using a shell script. And then we will create a backend file. We will migrate the state information from local machine into a remote place. And then we will perform Terraform commands in order to see whether the terraform.tf state file is created in the Azure Blob container or not. Okay, so these are the things what we are going to do in this video. Awesome. So let's get started. So this is my website, folks, coachdevops.com. I will be posting the link right below the video as well. So what is Terraform state file? The way Terraform is going to manage all your infrastructure changes is by creating a file called terraform.tfstate file. Generally, this file is stored in your local machine. But this does not work well when it comes to a collaborative environment, right? Because you want to make sure that any infrastructure changes you do, it is also available across all your team members, right? So that is the reason why you'll have to store your Terraform state file in a remote place. The way we are going to store Terraform state file is in a Azure Blob storage. But there are many ways you can store your Terraform state file remotely. And we have to create something called a backend. Okay, so these are the different options, but we are going to talk about Azure Blob storage. Okay, so if you look at this use case, what we are going to do is we are going to create Azure Storage account, and then we will also create Azure Blob container as well inside that storage account. And that is where we are going to store the terraform.tf state file. So this is the file which is actually saved in your local machine by default, isn't it? So we need to make sure this file is available in a remote place where all your team members can actually access. Okay, awesome. So let's get started now. If we look at the prerequisites, yes, we need to have Azure CLI installed. We also need to install Terraform as well. So I do have both of them installed on my local machine. I'm actually using MacBook. So that is my Azure CLI version. And then I also have Terraform CLI as well installed. Perfect. So that's my Terraform version. Perfect. And then I also have my Azure subscription already. So I'm actually using pay as you go subscription. And you can also use your, whatever the subscription you have. Okay. And then the way I'm going to authenticate with Terraform is using Azure CLI command. Okay. Awesome. So let's quickly start our demo here. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to first log in into Azure Cloud by executing AZ login command. So this is going to open up a pop-up, and then you can pick up you can choose your Microsoft account. When you click on it, it may ask you to enter your credential. So once you enter your credential, it will log in you into a Microsoft Azure. Okay, perfect. So now we are successfully logged into Azure Cloud. Perfect. So now what we are going to do is we are going to create a basic Terraform file, and we will execute Terraform init, Terraform plan, Terraform apply, just to see that where the terraform.tf state file is created in your local machine. And then once we see the terraform.tf state file locally, and then what we will do is we will create a Azure Storage account and then container and everything, and then we will migrate from a local state into a remote state. Okay, and then after that, we will make some Terraform code changes just to make sure that we are able to see this terraform.tf state file is updated in Azure Storage account as well. Okay, so that is the uh, we are going to do our lab. Okay, awesome. So let me go ahead and then create this main.tf file. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly go ahead and then create a directory here. I'm going to say Azure Labs, and then I'm going to go inside that folder. Right now I don't have anything inside this folder. Perfect. So let's quickly go ahead and then create main.tf file. Okay, and if you see here, I'm going to just to save time, I'm going to copy and paste these command, but don't worry, I will definitely explain. So if you look at here, our provider is Azure RM. Okay, and then yes, I'm also using this particular block of the code where you can also mention what is the version for your Azure RM. Okay, so this is the version I'm using at this part of demo. And then I would like to create a resource group in Azure Cloud, and this is the location. And then the name of the resource group is going to be a demo resource group. Okay, so let's quickly go ahead and then save this file. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and then initialize. So perform terraform init. So this is going to download necessary plugins, and then this will also create a log file called this as well. You should be able to see that over here. Perfect. So right now terraform.tf state file is not yet created because we have not perform terraform apply, right? So it is not going to create. So far so good. And then let's quickly go ahead and then execute terraform plan command. So this is going to clearly tell us that what are the resources it is going to create. So right now we are just going to create only one resource. Okay, so it might tell us that it's going to create one resource. There you go. As you can see here, it is going to create, and it is going to create this resource group called demo rg. Okay, and then as you can see, one to add. Okay, perfect. So far so good. And then I'm going to go ahead and then perform terraform apply command. If you want, you can also do auto approve as well, but it's up to you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and then say terraform apply auto approve. So what this will do is this will go ahead and then create this resource group in Azure Cloud. There you go. So as you can see here, right now our resource has been created. So where would you see it? So let's quickly go into Azure portal. Click on resource groups. Sometimes it may take few seconds for that to show up. There you go. Do you see here? So yeah, so we were successfully able to create this particular resource group in Azure Cloud. Perfect. But if you remember, I told you all that it is going to create by default in a local machine, right? The terraform.tf state file. There you go. You see here? So it has created this terraform.tf state file in your local machine. And then if you would like to see the content of that, go ahead and then execute a cat command. There you go. You see here? So this is our terraform state file. And as you can see here, we have only one resource created. So this is the resource name, right? So it has all the information over here. Okay, so this is where Terraform is going to manage all the state information, all the resource changes in this particular file. But again, this is stored in a local machine, right? So what we are going to do, we want to, move from local into a remote state. Okay, awesome. So how to do that? So what we have to do is we need to create Azure Storage account. Okay, so I have actually created a simple script here. Okay, so let me quickly go ahead and then create a small script here. I'm going to create a file called create storage .sh. Okay, this is a shell script. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and then copy and paste this. So basically what we are doing here is, yes, I would like to create a resource group name called tfstate. So these are the variables I have declared, right? And the storage account name is something like this. It is going to start with tfstate and then some random number. And I would like to create a container called a tfstate. This is like a blob container. This is where the Terraform .tfstate file will be actually stored. Okay. And then I'm actually using Azure CLI command in order to create the resource group, in order to create, in order to create a storage account, and then also to create the blob container. So whatever we have declared over here. Okay, awesome. So why don't we save this file and then go ahead and then execute this file. Okay. All right. So there you go. You see here, right now it is in the process of executing this particular shell script. So we should be able to see, as soon as it is done, we should be able to see that the resource group is being created, storage account is being created, and as well as the blob container as well in the Azure portal. This might take, few seconds. Awesome. So right now it says that, created true. So let's go into Azure portal. It might take, few seconds, for these resources to show up. Let me click on resource groups. Wow, there you go. You see here. So it has created a resource group called tfstate. Again, it may take few seconds to show up here. There you go. You see here, it also created a storage account called tfstate 8253. So this is generated through a random number. And then if you go to data storage, click on the containers, it also created a container called tfstate. So this is where we are going to store terraform.tfstate file. Okay, so right now it does not have anything because we have not created that backend file, right? So far so good. Okay, everything is created, whatever is needed in order to create that backend file to store Terraform state file. Okay, perfect. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to create a file called backend.tf. So far we just have only main.tf file, right? So let's go ahead and then create a backend.tf file. Okay, and then I'm going to again copy and paste this command just to save time. So what we are going to do, we are going to mention whatever the resources we have created, right? So we have created a resource group called tfstate, as we were able to see, right? Okay, and then what is our storage account name? So that is this one, tfstate 8253. So let me go ahead and then replace that. Okay, and then what is the container name? That is tfstate. And then the key is nothing but what is the file name of creating the or storing the Terraform state information. Okay, so this is the file. Okay, perfect. So basically this is the most important thing, right? So you are creating a backend. Okay, so backend is nothing but that is where it is going to store your state information, right? So Azure RM, right? And then this should be inside your Terraform block. Perfect. And then come out of this file. Awesome. So we have created this backend.tf file. So now what we have to do, we have to perform terraform init command in order to reinitialize or reconfigure the backend information. Okay. So let's perform this command terraform init, and then we are going to execute reconfigure. Why? Because if you see here, earlier we have executed terraform init, right? Okay. So that one was using a local storage, right? Or it was not using a remote backend, right? Since we have switched into a backend, so we have to reinitialize that. Okay, so let's go ahead and then execute that. There you go. You see here, now it says that initializing the backend. Wow, look at here. So now it is asking, hey, do you want to copy the existing state information to the new backend? Isn't it? Because we have our Terraform state file, right? Okay, so what it is saying now, hey, I found a new backend. Okay, so do you want to migrate whatever is there in your local state file into a remote place. Okay. So what we have to do, we have to type yes. Let's go ahead and then type yes. Wow, look at that. So now it says that successfully configured the backend Azure RM. So Terraform will automatically use this backend unless the backend configuration changes, isn't it? So this was successfully able to initialize that. So how would you actually see it? So all you have to do is log in into Azure Cloud. Okay, so go to the click on the storage account, go to container, click on TF state. Okay, wow, look at this. So now it has created this terraform.tf state file because we initialized, right? We performed terraform init with the reconfigure flag. So it has how to tell you, it has migrated from local state into a remote state. So click on this particular file or key, whatever you call, and then look at here, right? So as you can see here right now, it is in the unlocked stage because so meaning it is not in the locked stage, right? Meaning, anyone should be able to perform terraform apply command. That's what it is. Okay, and then it also says the least state available. Okay, and then if you would like to see what is inside, you can click on edit. There you go. You see here. So whatever was there in the local terraform.tf state file, everything has been uploaded into here. So if you see here, that is our resources block, right? So we are able to see the resource, whatever we have created earlier. So perfect, right? So yes, that's awesome. So we are able to see the terraform.tf state file. And then if you go to your local machine, type ls-al, wow, look at that. So this is empty. Why? Because we have migrated from local state into a remote state. Okay, perfect. So far so good, right? So now, so what if I make some changes, right? What if I edit the main.tf file? So if I'm creating few more resources, right? So we should be able to see the Terraform state file is being updated, isn't it, in the blob container, right? So let's quickly go ahead and edit the main.tf file. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create another resource. Okay, just to simplify our lab, let's say I want to create a Azure container registry. Okay, so let's say this is the container name, and then if you look at the resource group name, let's say I want to use this resource group. Okay, so I want to create Azure container registry under this resource group, and then I would like to use the same location as of this, and then I don't want to enable admin. Okay, so I don't want to enable admin, so I want to make it false, just to show this demo. Okay, awesome. So let's save this file and come out of it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and then perform terraform plan command, right? So this will clearly tell me how many resources will be created, correct? So let's see. Okay, so now it says that it is going to perform create operation, and then it is going to create this container registry, right? It's going to perform this, it is going to create this container registry, and then we already see the name and everything, right? So this is the name of the container registry. Perfect. Okay, and then want to add. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and then perform terraform apply command, and so this will go ahead and then create resources in Azure Cloud. Enter. Wow, see here. So the resource has been created. Azure container registry has been created. Let's quickly validate that. So click on the storage account. Click on the containers. Click on TF state. Click on terraform.tf state. And then click on edit. Wow, look at here. So now we are seeing that under resources tag, we are able to see Azure container registry, right? We are also able to see the resource group as well, right? So yeah, so that is how, guys, that is how you can see your resources are being updated or not. So let me do one thing. If I go ahead and then perform terraform destroy, right? So right now, as you can see, this is in the unblocked stage, right? So if I perform some kind of a either terraform apply or terraform destroy, during the operation, what this will do is this is going to make this as a locked state. Okay, and the least state will be unavailable. Okay, let's quickly do that. Let me go ahead and then perform terraform destroy command. Let me just say yes. Okay, so right now it should be in the process of deleting. Let me quickly refresh this. Okay, you can refresh this one. There you go. You see here, because right now it is performing the operation. So that's why you are seeing this in the locked state. See, this is the most important thing, right? So no one would be able to perform any terraform apply command or destroy command during this time. And then as soon as this is done, when you click on refresh, you will see that this will be in the unlocked state, and then least state would be available. It's still updating, so that's why it is still in the locked state. As soon as this is done, we will go ahead and then refresh, and then you will see the changes. Awesome. So now I will go ahead and then click refresh. Okay, click on refresh. You will see this will go away. Okay, click on refresh. Wow, look at that. This is back to unlocked state. And then if you like to see what is inside terraform.tfstate file, click on edit. There you go. See, since we have performed terraform destroy command, everything has been deleted, isn't it? So that's why you don't see anything inside the resources tag. Okay. So awesome, guys. That's how you can store your Terraform state file remotely in Azure Storage account. Thank you for watching, guys.